All right, let's dive into one of the biggest challenges in business today. How do we get past all the AI hype and actually build real, lasting intelligence? Well, the answer starts with a simple but really powerful principle. For years and years, this quote by John Johnson has been like a North Star for software engineers. It's this timeless piece of advice that reminds us to focus on the why before we get totally lost in the how. It's all about clarity over complexity. Okay, but here's the thing. In today's world, that classic advice needs a modern twist. Because the big temptation now isn't just writing code for the sake of it. It's throwing AI at absolutely everything and just kind of hoping something sticks. This simple update, this is the heart of everything we're going to talk about. Right, so let's talk about that temptation. What happens when we skip that crucial solve the problem first step? Well, you get what I like to call the digital duct tape problem. And this is what it looks like in the real world, automating chaos. You see organizations slapping machine learning onto broken, messy processes like it's some kind of digital duct tape. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. AI doesn't fix a broken process. It just puts it on steroids. It makes all that chaos faster, way more expensive, and a whole lot harder to clean up later. So this puts every leader, probably you included, at a major crossroads. Are you in the race to be the fastest person to adopt every new AI model that drops? Or are you playing the long game to be the wisest architect, the one who applies it with surgical precision? Let me tell you, the winners in the next decade, they're not going to be the fastest. They're going to be the most strategic. And that brings us right back to the solution. And you know what? It's not some new flashy technology. It's about getting back to basics, to a fundamental principle that's just been reimagined for right now, for the age of AI. We call it the problem-first principle. And it's super simple, really. It's just the discipline of focusing relentlessly on the actual business challenge. What's the real pain point? Where's the inefficiency? What's the goal? You get crystal clear on that first, and only then do you ask, hey, is AI maybe the right tool for this job? Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, that's a nice little phrase, right? But this is way more than that. This is a strategy that's backed by, well, pretty much all of the smartest minds in business. And that gives it some serious weight. I mean, just look at this. It's actually kind of incredible how much everyone agrees. You've got heavy hitters like McKinsey, Inside, Bain & Company. They're all saying the same thing in their own way. McKinsey's research is clear. Problem first drives real impact. Inside says it perfectly. Don't start with AI, start with why. The evidence is just overwhelming. Strategy has to come before the tech. All right, so we get the why. That part's clear. But what about the how? How do you actually do this in the real world? Let's get practical. We've boiled it all down into a 4-step playbook for leaders who want to be architects, not just adopters. So the playbook has 4 main steps. It all starts with setting the foundation. Then you move on to executing with discipline. From there, it's all about building the capability inside your organization. And finally, holding it all together is the last step, designing for trust. Let's break each of those down. Step 1, set the foundation. This is all about nailing the fundamentals. First, you have to anchor every single AI initiative to a measurable business outcome. If you can't measure the impact, why are you doing it? Second, and this is huge, you lead with process clarity. That means mapping out your workflows, finding the bottlenecks, and fixing them before you automate anything. A clean process is the best data you could ever ask for. On to step 2, execute with discipline. This is where the rubber meets the road. It means you stop chasing every shiny new model, and instead, you run focused, purposeful experiments. And you've really succeeded when the AI becomes, well, invisible. It just blends into the workflow so seamlessly that your team stops talking about AI and just starts using it to get their jobs done. Now, step 3 is a big one. Build the capability for the long term. And listen, this isn't just about technology. It's about people and culture. You have to invest in AI literacy for everyone, set up smart governance, and create a shared language so the tech folks and the business folks are actually on the same page. The big goal is to stop buying a bunch of disconnected AI tools and start building reusable layers of intelligence that actually learn your business. That's how you get that incredible compounding value over time. And that brings us to the final step, and honestly, this one is completely non-negotiable. Design for trust. From the very first meeting, from day one, you have to build for trust. That means your systems need to be transparent, they need to be explainable, and they need to have solid ethical principles guiding them. Because trust isn't a feature you tack on at the end. It's a core asset for your brand. Okay, so let's pull it all together. Following this playbook isn't just a nice to have or a good practice. It's an executive imperative. It is the strategic shift you have to make to go from simply adopting AI to truly architecting intelligence. When you look at it this way, the two paths forward are just night and day. The hype approach is all about chasing tech, automating chaos, buying quick fixes, and focusing on speed. But the architect's approach, that's about serving business goals, eliminating waste, building intelligence, and focusing on precision. The final destination of those two roads couldn't be more different. Look, if there is just one single idea you walk away with today, I hope it's this. The true power of AI isn't about doing broken things faster. It's about doing the right things with a level of precision we've just never had before. So I'll leave you with a question to take back to your team. Take an honest look at what your organization is doing. Are you just adopting AI, buying the latest tools and hoping for the best? Or are you thoughtfully and purposefully architecting intelligence into the very core of your business? The answer to that question will define your future.